about the 5 things that I think Giannis Antetokounmpo needs to work on this offseason if he wants to be completely unstoppable. He was pretty much unstoppable except for in the playoffs last season. So hopefully they can win the NBA Finals because I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan. And these are all things you should be working on in your offseason to take your game next level and start scoring more points, getting more assists, and pretty much being an all-around dominant player like Giannis is. But let's talk about some of the 5 things outside of just like everyone's like, okay, he's got to work on his three-point shot. He's got to work on his three-point shot. I think it's helpful and important, and he has been improving on that side of things, and great, keep working on that. But at the same time, I don't think it should be like the main thing he's focusing on. I think there's other things that will take his game much further, much more quickly, and over time, developing that three-point shot, he can progress with that. So, the first thing I've noticed is he actually noticed playing against Kawhi how patient he was. He said he would find his spots, right? He knew his spots to get to on the court. He would read all of his options, and Giannis noticed that. And I think that is actually one of the areas that Giannis, he's not bad at, but he can improve, especially in this 15-foot range. It doesn't seem like he's completely comfortable going into making a quick read, which we'll talk more about that in a second, but specifically quickly going into a jump shot. Even I've been watching him like in his warm-ups. A lot of times he'll go like this, and he'll take his time going into that jump shot a little bit too much. So you might think that's a contradiction because he said Kawhi Leonard's really patient, and I'm saying he needs to speed up that jump shot. What I'm saying is Kawhi's patient, but when he sees an opportunity, he gets into it quick. Sometimes Giannis, he's got that opportunity, that jump shot, but you can tell there's maybe a little bit of a mental block as far as going into that shot quickly, partially because of the confidence, but the other thing I would really work on him with this is gathering that ball quick and getting his steps in quick. That will dramatically speed up your jump shot. So I would really spend time going into a quick 1-2 step, gathering the ball a little bit tighter. I don't mind a little dip, I think that's fine, but I'll notice a lot of times he'll go with his shot and he'll really bring it down here with his arms extended. And I feel like that's slowing down his shot, and he's also taking a little too long to kind of line up his shot. So a couple tweaks I would do is working on popping that dribble, quick 1-2 step, ball a little bit tighter, and within that whole motion, getting the eyes on the rim, so now he has a better chance of making that shot. If you watch like Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, they're gonna get their eyes locked in on the rim a little sooner, and what that will do is allow you to line your body up better for the shot. Versus if you're just going into the second step and now I'm just getting my eyes on the rim, what that'll do is either A, I might not get my feet exactly where I want them, less chance of making the shot, or B, now I've gotta take this second step really slow and gather the ball slow while I align my body up with the rim. Get that in earlier, you'll get that shot off a little quicker. So I would spend a lot of time just repping the mess out of this, doing lots of 1-2 pull-up jump shots, getting them off quick from that 1-2 step, and then also from the hop. So to the left side, I would go right, left, and the hop, and then to the right side, left, right. That'll help with his rhythm, protecting the basketball in that first dribble here from my defender, and then I can quickly rise up in the shot as you see them dropping back. Next thing I think that would really help him a lot is working on a quicker step back in this 15-foot range with some details in mind. Now, I wouldn't spend a lot of time working on, snatch backs and some of these different James Harden step backs where, he'll do the little shuffle step. I would just rep the snot again out of a bare bones basic step back, something quick and efficient. He doesn't really need to create a lot of space, right? Because he's taller than most players. So what I would do is, since he's a righty, I'll show you righty, I'm a lefty, I would work on just a quick dribble jab, keeping the ball back here to get the defender to move back, because defenders know, like, when he comes into the paint, like the Raptors, all the defense just collapsed in, his defender collapsed in, right? So it makes it really tough for him to create anything. But he can take advantage of that now by developing the step back. Take this step in this quick dribble, everyone's gonna move back, just hop back a little bit, get the feet where he wants them square, and rise up into the shot. Key thing on this again though is, as he's selling this step here, and he sees his defender start to move back, from this point forward, he wants to get his eyes to the rim so he can start figuring out where he needs to line his feet up, and he can hop so both feet land at the same time, so it's a nice quick shot. And he can just have this as a bread and butter move. Now, if he starts getting this and that pull-up jump shot off, now when defenders are playing defense on him, they're not gonna give all that space and necessarily collapse as much, right? They're gonna have to be a little more honest and stay tight to him, and now he can create opportunities from this step back to drive, right? You can come here, drive. You can come from this, cross over, right? All those things that he's good at doing already, will become much more powerful once again. That's why I think so far these two things are like some of the big ones, because they're going to open a lot of those opportunities that he's already great at, and it'll really complement what he already has going. Next thing I think that would add a lot to his game is, again, he's good at getting into the paint, right? And when he gets into the paint, there's a lot of traffic, help defenders, things like that. What would really help him, I think, is he's good at taking these long, big steps, making big moves, and I would not get rid of that. But I think what would really add to that is working on his ability to work on some more of these tight, low dribbles and some quick, low footwork. A lot of times he's taking those real big steps, right? That's a huge advantage he has. But there's certain times where he's gonna commit a little too much to these big movements, and by the time that step gets onto the ground, the defense is all there. So I think working on some, just like wrecking out a lot of combos, just doing, you know, low dribbles, keeping the feet low to the ground, things like that. That'll help him keep the ball protected. You almost think like Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, Stephen Curry. They got that real tight, low handle. That'll help him buy time when he's in these situations. That quick footwork will allow him now to get into shots quickly. It'll allow him to create opportunities to drive past his defender different ways, be more unpredictable, and when he's in the paint, if he's able to keep his dribble alive and get those low, quick dribbles and low, quick footwork, now that'll open opportunities for him to buy time to find teammates and get more assists. So now again, he gets those assists off, he's able to get jump shots off. Defense doesn't collapse as much because they know he's gonna kick out a little bit more. They know that he can pull up for a jump shot more in that 10, 15 foot range really fast, and then they don't want to swarm on him. So those are kind of two things that I would be working on: the footwork, low and quick, and then also the tight, low handle. So a couple things he could do to work on this would be simply working on just low combos, more stationary, you know, little pound dribbles, things like are real down low, low taps, low V's, low inside outs, between the legs real low, other way, you know, doing these down low, but always focusing on keeping the dribble, trying to get it below knee height for him. I would even say, since he's got such long legs, halfway below shin height, right, from here down. It's just enough to really get that wrist action involved and using more of your wrist to control the basketball, make quick pound dribbles. Even a behind the back would be really good, well suited for him, because a lot of times when he gets tight to defenders, you'll see him go into the spin move, right? But sometimes as he's going into that spin move, you know, it takes you vision a little while to kind of see what's going on over here, and if the defender collapses, now it's really hard to make a read. So having a low behind the back would be really helpful for those situations. If he sees a defender in front of him, he can make a read, protect the basketball like he does, still attack this way, but have his vision more open to see what his options are. As far as footwork goes, I would just do like quick line drills, forward back, side to side, some scissors like this. One, two, forward back, just like that. Left, right. And then also working on right, left. And all that stuff, again, will complement his jump shots, his handles, pretty much everything. Fifth thing I would spend time is getting like an assistant coach or a basketball skills trainer like myself to work with him, but I would get into the paint, working on drives, and then from there having someone moving around, maybe a couple people, and then just having a random person that puts their hand up or calls their name out, and he's got to hit them with that. The reason I would do this is because he's a really good passer. But where you did see him run into some trouble with the Raptors is sometimes it took him a little too long to make the read, and he got a little bit of a tunnel vision of looking to attack and score the points, because you know everyone's like, he's kind of an MVP caliber player now, he's got to score. So I'm sure like a lot of that kind of seeps into him mentally, and he starts to think more of, okay, I got to carry the team by scoring points. But I really think against the Raptors, it would have been more beneficial if he was quicker to make those kickouts, because he had good three-point shooters. Now, again, I'm not saying he's like a bad passer. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. You know, none of that. But I think if he can just make some of those reads a little bit quicker, he'd be able to open more opportunities for his teammates. And then also in the future, he made a couple kickouts, made them quick. Now when he gets in the lane, defense isn't going to collapse as much because they're hitting all those three-point shots, and he can get some more layups off and dunks and everything else. And with that being said, I'm not saying this is all just on Giannis. Obviously, you know, teammates have to hit shots, and there were some off games for some of the shooters and things like that. But I think if he adds these things to his game, it'll help put the Bucks over the hump hopefully next year and get them a couple of rings. Now, if you're watching this and you want to improve your handles, your speed, your footwork, and get some of that athleticism with your ball handling like Giannis has, check out the link I'll have pinned to the top comment. That's a 100% free workout that's already helped thousands of players. I'm sure it'll help you too. And I think it might even help Giannis a little too. If this video helped, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to catch all the newest videos, and I will see you in that workout next.